you, Scott. Now, like Scott, I'm a veteran as well, but I served in the Royal Navy because I was far too good looking to be in the army. Quiet in the cheap seats. So, one thing that I learned from my time in the military, and I know there's a lot of veterans in the room who will echo this as well, is leadership. There is a real lack of leadership in our politicians in this country, locally and nationally. We've got a man in number 10 Downing Street who lives on excuses. They spent the first year blaming mystery black holes on the Conservative Party. They blame everything that is happening now on the Conservative Party. They do not own anything that they have done and caused themselves. A true leader owns their mistakes. A true leader owns what they have done, the policies they have put in place, and the effect they have on real people. We have got no leaders whatsoever like that in this country, apart from, I would say, Nigel Farage.
Yes.
So until Nigel does get the keys to number 10, and I do understand that's part of Keir Starmer's phase 3, he's going to hand over the keys to Nigel Farage. Nigel's going to give him a complimentary Reform membership because he's done fantastic fundraising for the party. Since he's come into power, our membership has nearly doubled. So Keir Starmer and the Labour government are the best recruitment tool for reform. So that's the one thing I will thank Keir Starmer for. But we've got a couple of years yet till that happens. But what we can do is we can turn Sunderland, Washington and the entire North East into reform. We can see what our colleagues are doing in Durham. They're doing a fantastic job. They've got control of the council. Things are happening. It's not going to happen overnight. We said that when they came in. Nothing's going to happen overnight. But we have now got real leadership under Andrew Husband and the Deputy Darren Grimes who's here tonight. We've got real leadership in Durham and real change is happening. Part of the problem we've got with our politicians locally and nationally, like I say, is it's a lack of accountability, it's a lack of credibility, it's a lack of common sense, dare I say.
Not common.
Common sense is not common, you're right. Unfortunately, that is what we've had to live with. In my entire lifetime, we've had pretty inept politicians. There's a lot of people here a lot older than me, and I think you'll probably say the same thing. I may get booed here, but I'd say our last real good Prime Minister was Margaret Thatcher. So, locally, I defected to reform from the Conservative Party back in 2023. We were polling at around 4 or 5% when I defected. I spoke to a few Conservatives and I said, look, reform, we need to take these guys seriously. Everybody laughed, everybody dismissed them, and I can tell you they are not laughing now. In 2023, the Sunderland team ran a full slate of candidates. From a standing start, we got a full slate of candidates, and we came pretty much third across Sunderland, Washington and Horton. Last year, we ran a full slate again, and we came second, pretty much across the board. Next year, do the maths on this one, we're going to win. We're going to take control of Sunderland Council, we're going to take control of Washington, we're going to take control of the coalfields, and you will see what real leadership looks like. We've got a plan. The current council are too busy cozying up to Keir Starmer. They're not interested in local things and local events. If you speak to a local councillor, all they say is all Reform care about is immigration and stuff in the boards. We've got bigger plans than that. We really have. We're not going to show you our homework yet because the Labour Party and the Conservatives like to copy our homework. We've had lots of really good policies which the Conservative Party went, oh, we said that. No, you didn't. You've just nicked that from Nigel. And that's what they're doing. So we have got a manifesto locally for Sunderland, Washington, Horton. It will be coming out in the coming months. It's costed, it's planned, and we know where we can save some money. Labour don't want to talk about that. Labour just want to shout and scream and put nasty things on Facebook. That's all they've got. They've got no argument. I tried to debate a Labour councillor recently, and she had no comebacks on anything. It was the same thing over and over again. And then lo and behold, a load of trolls jumped in on my Facebook post, and that was the end of that. Because that's what they like to do. They've got no leadership, they've got no debate skills, and they've got no idea. I was at Newcastle United on Saturday, and I saw a quote on the wall, and it said, "What will you make today? Excuses or a difference?" And I thought, I'm having that, I'm using that, I like that. So I went away and I sat down and I looked and I thought, how can I make this into a big speech? But then I thought, nobody wants to hear me talk for 15 minutes about things like this. But that is stuck in my head. And when I woke up the next morning, it was in my head again. What do I want to do today? My wife wanted me to wash the dishes, but that didn't happen. Do I want to make excuses or do I want to make a difference? And the answer is, I want to make a difference. And if you want to make a difference in Sunderland, Washington, in the Goldfields, in Houghton, then you need to join Reform. I know a lot of you are members, but I know some of you are guests who aren't members. Join us. We are the only party who are talking common sense. We are the only party who are campaigning on the issues that matter to people on the doorstep. Me and the campaign team were out in Donwell last week. I canvassed there during the general election. I had a mixed response. There's quite a lot of elderly miners, long-term Labour voters. They liked what we were saying, but they were still going to vote Labour. We walked along the same street 2 weeks ago, and we had people coming over their house to talk to us, saying they were voting Reform. That's in less than 6 months. That's what this Labour government has done in 6 months. So if you do want to wake up tomorrow and say, right, he's right, I do want to make a difference, join us, put your name forward. Our communities, your communities, desperately need leaders and leadership. Be the difference and be the change that your community needs. That's what I plan on doing, and I know that's what all of the other candidates plan on doing. So if you feel the same way that I feel, and I know a lot of you do, then please do join us. If you don't want to be a candidate, you can help us leaflet, you can help us work behind the scenes. Our membership locally is in excess of 1,000. I know the Conservative Party across the entire board in Sunderland, Houghton and Washington have got less than 200. So membership-wise, we're dwarfing them, but we need people on the streets to help us campaign. We're out every week, pretty much twice a week, putting leaflets out, knocking on doors and talking to people. So even if you don't want to put yourself forward to be a candidate, then just please come out and help us, because I promise you it will be worth it. In May next year, when Labour lose the council and we take control, I'm not saying things are going to happen overnight, because they're not. I'm not going to make promises like Keir Starmer and Labour have done and say things are going to get better, which they clearly haven't under Labour. But I will promise you this, I will work my arse off, along with the rest of the team, to make a difference and make a change.